What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel where we will dissect the markets with technical analysis and see what other participants are really doing. Now, on this video, we are going to be talking about Bitcoin first, Ethereum, XRP, to follow up with our previous video and see what those assets are doing. We're going to be taking a look into the total altcoin market cap for smaller altcoins and see how closely it is following Bitcoin and when could the smaller altcoin markets could be making a move. Of course, it's going to depend on Bitcoin. So we're going to be taking a look at the levels where Bitcoin will probably be making a move, right? It's in a very tight range. It's been almost not moving for the past week. And it's been stuck in a very tight range. So it's close to making a move either up or down. So some things to be paying attention to. Now, I know that the price action has been very boring to watch. And, it's just it's not something I would just take a look. I'll just be looking at the computer screen, at the computer screen the whole day as it would be if it was more interesting. Unless you're very good at trading leverage, right? Now, before we begin today, if you guys don't already have a Webull account, you guys can use my referral link down below. They are giving away free stocks. So if you guys like free stocks and don't already have a Webull account, you guys can use my referral link down below. They are giving away stocks value from $3,000 to $3,000. Depends on your luck, of course. If you guys register and make an initial deposit of $100 and I will also get a referral bonus if you guys sign up under me, so that directly supports the channel. Now let's take a look into what the charts are doing. We're gonna start with Bitcoin first. Right. And let me just go back to the Webull stuff, right? Now I have used Webull as a starter exchange. And I like it because you could trade both crypto and stocks. And I like the interface very much as a starter exchange. But the more important thing is I would not leave a lot of money on any of these exchanges, given what has happened with the crypto markets, right? So I personally spread my money around into several exchanges. So in case one actually goes down, I'm not devastated. So that's just personally what I'm doing. And I think that's a very important message to go out there, right? For people who are trading on these exchanges. Now that I have gotten that out of the way, let's take a look into the charts, and we're gonna start with Bitcoin first because in my opinion that is still the main driver of this market. So we're at the Bitcoin chart right now. Based on yesterday's update, since then nothing has really happened. I did mention that, just zooming out a little bit into the daily time frame here, we have been in this range since we have tried to break above 31.9K, right? And we have been in this falling wedge. Since we have hit about 31.9K, we have came all the way down to this 28.5K area. So it has been a pretty, it's been a pretty good drop, right? But it has formed this falling wedge pattern, which usually breaks upwards. And it did with this huge green reversal candle here that happened earlier in the week. But now it's still, it did get rejected at about that 30K level. And it's still keeping above that upper trend line here of this falling wedge pattern. That tells me this is still a breakout of that pattern, right? Now, let's zoom in a little bit into the smaller time frames as I did yesterday. From yesterday's update, I did talk about since it has broken out of that falling wedge pattern, it has formed another falling wedge pattern above the one that has broken out of above the bigger one, right? So I've seen that pattern before. So this is still a breakout of that initial bigger falling wedge pattern. And now it has broken out of the smaller falling wedge pattern, which is still a good sign, because it just tells me that it's moving very slowly, but it is keeping above the patterns it has broke out of, right? Now I do have long positions in both Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some smaller altcoins. So I do have a bullish opinion on this market right now. Of course, it could change if it starts breaking some key levels. But we do have quite a bit of support underneath the price action right now. So let's zoom out and take a look into some of those supports I've been talking about, right? So like I said, I have opened long positions. I did kind of get trapped, right? Because like I said, I did think that was a breakout above that 31.9K level where I was wrong. So I did get trapped, but I did not exit out of my positions because I do see quite a bit of support beneath the price action, right? Not financial advice. Do your own homework because that's just what I'm doing. Now, we are basically currently at the 3-day 21 SMA, which is the blue line here. We're on the 3-day time frame. We do have the 3-day 50 SMA coming up. That's currently at about 28.4K kind of. So that's coming up. And then we have the weekly 21 SMA, which the price action has basically touched earlier this week, since it has gone down to about 28.5K. And that's coming up too because we have a weekly candle close very soon, right? So just zooming out and seeing some of these key levels that could be pretty good support underneath the price action right now. So I think if it starts breaking some of these major moving averages, then that's bad news, right? So I think the first levels of major moving averages, like I said, would be the 3-day 21 SMA and then the weekly 21 SMA. If we start getting candle closes beneath those those major moving averages, we do have the 3-day 50 coming up, right? And that looks like it's going to be above this falling wedge pattern that the price action has broken out of. So I think there's a pretty good chance that the price action is going to stay above where it broke out of that falling wedge pattern, because there's quite a bit of major moving averages that's approaching the top trend line, including the 3-day 50, right? If it starts breaking some of those major moving averages, that could look that may not look good, but we do have I think the daily 200 is slowly coming up. That's about 27K. And the weekly 200, which has been very important, that's also at about 27.3K. So I guess, if it starts breaking some of these major moving averages above those, like the 3-day 50, then I'm going to be reconsidering liquidating some of my positions, because the next set of moving averages or support levels coming up would be the weekly 200 and the daily 200, and they're about, that's still a pretty good drop. So I would reconsider liquidating some of my positions. Of course, the situation may change since these moving averages are coming up as well. So as the situation changes, my opinion will change, right? It's a very fluid situation. So that's why it's very important to just look at the charts regularly, but not enough to drive you crazy, right? So that is what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. Now, let's talk about some of the upside potential, right? And some of the levels that the price action could break above for upside potential. Yesterday, I did talk about, the price action breaking above this smaller falling wedge pattern. And the next level I'm really looking at would be about this range here, at about 29.3, 29.4 K level for a breakout here. So we can actually see a higher high since it has broken out of this smaller falling wedge pattern, right? Now, since we have been getting more data since this breakout has happened, I am looking into the 4-hour time frame where this kind of seems like a double bottom, but since the price action has, basically came back down to about 29K, this is kind of like a triple bottom. So it's not really a double bottom, but there is a bullish divergence here on this 4-hour time frame. So if it plays out, it could drive the price action higher. Let's also take a look into the daily time frame as well, where I do still see bullish divergence, right? So if this bullish divergence does play out, it will most likely drive this price action higher. And the next level I'm looking at would be about that about 29.4K level, for a higher high on the hourly time frame. So a close above, I would say safely above that 29.4K level. That would give me a higher high on this hourly time frame, since the breakout of this smaller falling wedge pattern. If the price action does continue to go higher, then the next level up would, of course, be that 30K level. And then finally, I've been talking about this bigger pattern here, where it's more apparent on the weekly time frame, would be that 32K level. If we get a weekly candle close above 32K, then that's going to look a lot more bullish for Bitcoin, because like I said, this looks like a cup and handle pattern that has been building for a very long time, right? If you guys want to see it on the weekly time frame. Now let's take a look into Ethereum, just to follow up from yesterday's video. Now I did mention that Ethereum here looks like it could be forming a either inverse head and shoulders pattern or cup and handle pattern here on this weekly time frame. If it breaks 1735 here, to be more exact, I'm looking at this level right here, then that would invalidate the idea of a inverse head and shoulders pattern or a cup and handle pattern, in my opinion. But it could come down here for a double bottom as well, so that is still usually bullish. Taking a look into the smaller time frame, just coming down to the daily time frame here for Ethereum. We do have a falling wedge pattern here, and if this breaks out to the upside, very quick, the measure target, if it breaks up from the end of the falling wedge pattern here, and if the falling wedge pattern does not get reformed or reshaped, and keep it as is, then I do have a measure move of almost up to 2000, right? So that's, given the conditions I have just mentioned. Let's take a look into XRP real quick and see what has gone on. Nothing has really gone on because it's the weekend. Sometimes things could move over the weekend, but it doesn't look like this weekend is one of them. So XRP, like I said, if we actually zoom out to the monthly time frame here, where it seems that we got a pretty good candle close above the monthly 21 and the 50 SMA, the blue and the gray line here. If we take a look into the daily time frame here, like I said, it has formed a falling wedge pattern, and if the price action does break out at the end of this falling wedge pattern, given that nothing changes, right? Given that this pattern does not get reshaped or does not get broken down, then the measure move will be about 84 cents. Now, the measure move may or may not be reached, right? And probably won't be reached like very quickly. So that's just something to be keeping in mind. Do your own research for technical analysis as well. You know, in the sense of some of these terms that I'm using, right? So that is what I'm looking at for XRP. Still very slowly, not doing too much, but that's what I'm seeing if the price action actually breaks out of this pattern. But the daily 50 SMA is coming into the pattern, so that could be support and probably give it a bounce from within this pattern. On the 3-day time frame, the 3-day 21 SMA, which is also which is the blue line here, that's also coming into this pattern. So it's something to be keeping in mind. Now let's take a look into the total 3, which is the total altcoin market cap, excluding Ethereum, right? So this tells me what the altcoins could be doing in the short term. Now, just something to note that this follows Bitcoin, just like Ethereum. I'm not sure about XRP. I'm not gonna say much about XRP because it's not something I follow, and it could be an anomaly. But I know Ethereum does follow Bitcoin. And the total altcoin market cap excluding Ethereum as well. So right now, not doing too much. It has not been doing too much. The total altcoin market cap excluding Ethereum, and you know, I see a falling wedge pattern, which is pretty commonplace within the market right now. That seems to be the theme. It is below basically all major moving averages on the daily time frame. Let's check on the 3-day time frame. It's being supported by the 3-day 21 SMA. And it's basically beneath all major moving averages on the weekly time frame as well. So you know, if it breaks down from this falling wedge pattern, that is not good, right? But if it actually does break above this, out of this, which usually does, not absolutely, usually. Let's just say if it actually breaks out, you know, at the end of this pattern here from what I'm drawing, then, you know, we could see a price action up to about $363 billion, which could be like about almost a 10% move. Also pretty decent move here. But really just depends on what Bitcoin is doing. So that's why, you know, I'm talking about Bitcoin first, for you guys who are new into the markets. Right. So that basically wraps it up for the day. Let me know what you guys are trading, what you guys are holding. That'd be interesting to know. And I hope you guys have the rest of your good rest of your weekend. I'll see you guys next time. Like, subscribe,